We starting with Brew Kaipa?
Yeah, we are good. We're starting with the haze.
Hayes Bell.
It's not as bad with the headphones on.
Yeah.
So,
Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer.
Jason Harris?
And Greg Nagel.
Very nice.
This is
Well,
like,
well
we were
done,
just talking
guys.
about when the cashier asks you how old you are. And you're like, fucking froze up. I was like, oh, shit.
Old? I'm double 21.
Like, what year is it?
We are also joined by Brew Kaipa's own Derek Bougie.
There you go.
There
All
it is.
right.
I got it this time.
Derek Boogie.
Hey, guys, what are we drinking here?
I don't know.
So
Who wants to go?
we're starting our IPA battle. This is just the 4 brewers. We each picked an IPA and we're battling.
IPA juggernauts.
But we're gonna go ahead and start this with the collaboration that John and I did with Derek over at the Brew Kaipa's.
Matt and I were there in spirit.
Yeah, you were on.
We
Yeah,
were there.
of course,
We were there
yes,
in
of course.
idealism and on T-shirts.
I mean, the beer it's a collaboration beer we did with Derek.
Yeah.
He invited us down to do the beer.
Which is awesome.
But we all collaborated, even though Derek or Greg
was
and Matt
rooting
weren't
on-
there. Like,
I was
we talk
spanking
about
into
this
the
stuff
photos.
privately and, do our own thing. So
Yeah, so it ends up being a 5 brewers. Well, that one guy, but Rom that was there.
Oh, yeah.
The home brewer. So it ends up being what, six brewer.
And then Eric and Jeff showed up.
So
it was 8 brewers.
course
yeah.
So, yeah, it was,
So
it was
as
pretty fun,
it
though.
turns out, John, it was the 60th and not the 59th batch.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
We had a real
yeah,
sex
I
thing
doubled
going
up on one of them. So yeah, everything pretty much ended up in 6s with this.
Yeah, we'll talk about
particular
that
beer, yeah.
in the
So-
future. But,
Six-
yeah.
The six brewer,
of the beast.
Yeah.
the 6 brewer Hucklebuck.
Yeah. all right.
What?
6 brewer Hucklebuck. That's a good
Knuckle
name for it.
Puck?
Hucklebuck.
You are from Anaheim.
Who's your Hucklebuck?
Yeah.
Who's your Hucklebuck, Greg?
You know
Who's your
what Hucklebuck
Hucklebuck?
is?
The Ducks.
Don't look that up.
I'll be your Hucklebuck.
I'll be your Hucklebuck.
Don't look that up on Brazzers.
So the way this beer came
I'd buy that
about,
for a Hucklebuck.
Yeah, how did this beer come about?
I was at Brew Kaipa and we were hanging out, I think, near the brew house. And I told Derek, I'm like, hey, man, why don't you brew a hazy IPA? He's like, man.
You were hounding me the entire fucking time you were
And
there.
I go, dude, just do it. Like, who cares if it's trendy? Fuck it, man. He's like, yeah, man. Well, then he called me.
I'm sorry, what was his response?
Man.
Verbatim, by the way.
He was
That's
like,
it.
me.
Yeah. Lots of mumbling in there. Yes, for sure.
A couple weeks later, he's like, all right, you want to brew a hazy IPA? And I'm like, sure, pilot batch? No. Full
Yeah.
batch.
We're going all in. We're going all
hazy?
in.
Yeah, Derek's like,
So-
fuck it, we'll do it live.
What hops you got, bro?
So that's where we're at.
Yeah,
Me and Jason went down there 2 weeks ago. Today is December 2nd, so 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago today.
And
It's the freshness.
So,
yeah.
and this is right off the fermenter and my first attempt at
Is it carved
doing
or no?
a hazy. No, right off the fermenter.
Okay.
It probably hit the bright next week, and then hopefully on draft at some point soon after that.
So we were
like
generally
it.
trying to aim for that. Do we want to just get into the whole recipe details and
Sure,
everything?
do it.
Yeah. We were trying to aim for the super late hop, super hop bursted dry hop beer. We did ended up using an American ale yeast, right? Like a Cal ale yeast on it.
Yes.
Because all the English yeasts were fucking back ordered or some shit.
Yeah, like 4 weeks. Like it still wouldn't be available right now if we could get it.
Because everybody's hogging
shit,
the
really?
haze.
Because
So
well,
yeah,
2 weeks ago they said December 3rd that they would ship it. So
but
not so
no,
much.
yeah, I'm not going to do that.
But I think when we started, Derek, I think you had kind of sketched out an idea where you were doing 9 pounds of hops in total. I think the something.
Well, that
in
was
vein.
it in the batch itself. That wasn't considering any dry hopping. Dry hopping would have been probably maybe 12 pounds total.
Yeah, I think you were saying you were going to do 3 pounds per. It was a triple dry hop, so
Yeah,
3 pounds
yeah.
per dry hop. And Jason,
We were just like, why don't you?
So yeah, so it ended up
we ended
being
up 60 pounds of hops.
yeah, so it ended up being
Not
9.
enough hops. Need more hops.
So we did 6 pounds of 3 different varieties, so 18 pounds in 3 different dry hopping editions.
yeah,
So
Yeah, and I can definitely smell that.
We used
Yeah.
Citra, Pacifica, and
Equinox.
and Equinox, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Equinaut.
What is
Oh,
that?
Well,
sorry, you're
actually, it's Equinox on this one. It's not.
really?
It's not the name changed version.
You cannot, you cannot
Yeah,
find the better hop.
you cannot change the name of this one.
You cannot use it. You cannot.
Oh, hi, beer.
Hi, hops.
So, like Jason said, this is made like with basically a Cal Ale kind of yeast. It doesn't use like the traditional, like London 3.
Yeah, it's not the
or
London 3 or anything like
whatever.
that. So.
You know, the
Still got
what
the
is
haze
it?
though.
We did a tiny amount of bittering hops. It was like half a pound of Columbus.
This is a 10
Yeah.
barrel brew
in a
house,
10
too.
barrel
yeah,
batch.
10 barrels, 10 barrel.
And then it was something like 6 pounds at Flame Out, right?
Well, we did a 5-minute edition, which kind of put it at roughly 15 with the Whirlpool. So
yeah.
it was about 6 pounds for that.
This has a huge aroma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can smell it just like sitting like 3 feet from
just
me.
like
Yeah,
a
it hits
huge
the
tropical
aroma on
fruit
the head,
aroma.
for sure.
That's the aroma, and this isn't still. It's got a little bit of carbonation in there, but it's not like fully carbonated. So I would imagine when it's fully carb,
It's going to be very aromatic. I
It's
think.
gonna be
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be popping.
As
You
you
kind
would
of have to
hope by
swirl to
putting-
get the aromatics to.
Yeah,
kick
I
up.
just crashed this the other day too, so it's only been this will be day 3, I think. So
And
we're gonna get a little bit more of the hop stuff drop out of it on the bitterness side.
It
But
definitely looks hazy without being that weird murk, like something went fucking awry.
Yeah,
it's
the-
like a
the
wheat
gross-
beer.
yeah.
Looks just like a wheat beer, I think.
Yeah.
So
It looks pretty. I mean, it's like
How
I
does
think it's definitely hazier than.
How does the
wheat beer, I
haze
think.
bell work? Do we just ring it?
Oh, you weren't here for the inception of the haze bell.
No.
You have to say, "Hayes boys."
yeah, the more I'm sipping off this, I think the better it gets. The bitterness kind of mellows out just a little bit more. It's very grapefruity.
Talking about the recipe formulation, also going back to that, this is mostly 2-row, a little bit of Vienna malt, and then a 50-50 blend of oats and unmalted wheat, which make up 20% of the grist.
Yeah.
And as far as the water goes, that's something we didn't really come to a conclusion on in our private chat and before we brewed it.
Right.
But is he your water guy, the home brewer? That
No,
was there?
he is a water chemist.
Oh, okay.
He's a contract kind of guy.
Got it.
Works down in San Diego and does stuff down there.
Okay.
So he just came in one day, actually the day before we were actually brewing it.
Okay.
And I told him to come in, and I had the water sheet for the annual water report for the area.
Yeah, I think
So he was looking at that.
on our last episode, Matt actually looked it up on his computer, and it was actually the same thing. So,
Okay.
but I totally forgot that Matt did that. But your water it's not super soft. It's like the total hardness was like I think 120.
Yeah, it was like 150. I thought.
No, it was
something like
120. I think, and because you said something about how Riverside's water is like 180.
that. Yeah,
or
it's like
something
180.
that.
Yeah.
But then as far as the chlorides and sulfates, the ratio was basically 2-to-1, where chlorides were, double in proportion to the sulfates.
Did you mention the oats?
It is.
Yes, we did mention that.
Hail Satan.
Sorry, I was taking beer selfies.
So as far as doing mineral additions, we didn't do that just because we came to the conclusion that it'd be better to just start at a baseline and go from there. Because
Right. Yeah.
you're not going to hit a home run on the first batch. Like there's going to be things you can tweak. So that being said, now I think we can dive into the beer.
I fucking like this beer a lot.
Yeah.
I get a lot of stone. You said grapefruit,
Oh,
but I definitely get grapefruit. But I think the stone fruit, kind of peachy, kind of like overripe nectarine.
See, I get a lot of pineapple. That's what I get. I get
Pineapple.
a
Yeah,
lot
right?
of pineapple.
For
Yeah.
being,
It just keeps going.
It's a fruit salad.
It's got
Right.
a lot
Fruit
of
salad
fruit
beer.
character, especially considering we didn't end up getting like an English ester yeast. We got a lot of like that sweet fruit character.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the hop profile on this? I know it's muted a little because the beer is mostly flat.
I mean, you just swirl it; it's fine.
But it doesn't seem to be that weird kind of rounded hop profile. It does seem a little bit sharper than
Yeah, we can pick out different fruits for sure.
But and not in a bad way, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
maybe
not quite
'cause-
as smeared.
Maybe it's because I watched Derek make it, but
See,
I
it's not
really
hop
like
smear.
how this beer's
Yeah,
tasting.
we talk about the smearing effect a lot. I wonder how much, because, we use Cal Ale with this, how much of that is just that London yeast? How much of an estery, like, boost that gives the, like the treehouse type beers
Yeah.
and how much that actually smears the hop profile, because we always talked about how indistinct it is, but this is, like I said, it's pretty fucking distinct, right?
I think what's cool about this too is using the Cal Ale, like it does give us that baseline to see if you do brew this again in the future and you use London 3 or something similar, like how it will change, like from using a pretty neutral yeast like Cal Ale.
Definitely think it'll be a big difference using a different yeast like that. And I want to say fermented a little bit warmer too, at 70 instead of the normal like 68.
Yeah, you were shooting for 70.
So that's going to give it a little bit more esters.
And this
too.
was a
But
16.
the Cal Ale, it's a clean yeast anyway.
Yeah.
I figured it'd be
Cal
pretty
Ale's-
neutral.
Cal Ale's
and we'll
pretty
just
clean.
let the hops go through with this, and the malt kind of come out a little bit.
We're not catching that grittiness either.
No.
That is like a pitfall of the style, I think. I don't get any of that in this. So,
And this was a 16-ish Plato beer, and it got down to...
Yeah, it was 16.3. It ended like 3 or 4, 4.1, 4.2.
Okay.
Final ABV is 5.9.
Nice.
what was the mash temp? You mash pretty high, or
I don't remember what it was. I think it was 152.
I want to say it was
I think is where we were.
I think it was 150.
150. Okay.
Yeah.
pretty much in the middle, yeah.
Maybe I should have looked at my notes before I got here.
Because that was another thing I kind of was thinking of on my own, like how low should you go? Like, because especially with a beer like this, like if you're using the proper yeast, like that yeast is going to, I think, contribute to kind of a perceived sweetness that you would get from a higher mash temp. So
Right.
I think 150 was just like a good compromise. It's kind of in the middle.
It's
not
for
too-
a good
too
baseline
low.
for what we were doing. I think
Yeah.
maybe a little higher next time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think mash higher next time. for
What do you
sure.
guys think of the bitterness on it? That was one of the comments that you had mentioned. Is
It's bitter.
It's pretty bitter, but I think
I
it's
know.
definitely West Coast meets East Coast.
I have a
bitterness.
huge
It's not-
tolerance for bitterness, so I'm like, oh, it seems fine.
I don't think it's not like stone. It's not like a arrogant bastard bitter. It's not a harsh bitterness.
Right.
I think Derek said this when he first drank it. The first sip is like, yeah, you get that bitterness, and then you kind of acclimate to it.
Yep.
But it is by far, it is not an IPA bitterness. It's I think for what this is, it's actually nice.
Our calculated IBU on this beer was like 30 something.
Yeah,
35?
34,
Yeah.
35, somewhere in there. yeah.
So based on like, the simulated IBU, it shouldn't have a big bitter bite to it.
I don't know. I mean, 35 IBU is fairly bitter. I mean, you look at like
It's
Sierra
below
like,
style for like American Pale Ale.
but still, I mean, well, no, I mean, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is 35 IBU.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, you can set your watch by it. That's like literally people use that beer to calibrate their testing. And so, I mean, we could probably just eliminate the bittering edition entirely, the 60-minute edition.
What was the Whirlpool, the 5-minute edition? What was the amount on that?
That was 6 pounds.
Oh, okay, 6
Yeah.
pounds. Okay.
We really set it on the 6 thing. We went real full Satan.
Yeah, so speaking of the 6, when we got there, like we mentioned the dry hopping, and you said, well, we're going to do 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 3 pounds, and we said, no, you should do more.
So we went for 666 instead.
Yeah, well, it kind of worked out that way because we said, okay, how about 2 pounds per barrel, which is 20 pounds per dry hop edition? And you said, okay, fine. Looking through the hops, you realized, well, I don't have quite enough to do that and still brew the beers I need to brew, for the actual
But
brewery.
we did compromise a little bit with
So we settled with 1.8 pounds per barrel, which is 18 pounds per dry hop. And then as far as the blend goes, I think it kind of worked out. It wasn't a calculated thing on our part. We just said, how about just equal parts? And it worked out with what you had in stock.
Yeah, and that was the first time I'd ever brewed with Pacifica too. So
I don't think I've had a beer with Pacifica.
So I like reading it and looking at what the flavor profiles were and the aromatics that it had.
Yeah.
Pleasant.
It had
Because I couldn't get
notes of
the
pleasant.
Nelson. I ran out of the Nelson on the last pale ale that I made. So
I'm amazed you had them in the first place.
After drinking this now, I think the Nelson may have been like too much for this.
Okay.
I mean, because it definitely jumps out of the glass with the aromatics. Taste wise, it's kind of hitting all those notes except for the bitterness. It's on the more bitter side for this style of beer. But the Nelson, I think, would have been a little too much. I think maybe a little too high. So
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, the description for Pacifica is not pleasant. Well, the description is pleasant, but
They don't say
there
it
is no pleasant as one of the descriptors. But Pacifica used to be under a different name. It was like Hallertau Aroma, I think. Because that's the thing about New Zealand hops is the names change a lot. Like, Kohatu used to be Hallertau Aroma or something like that. So
Pacifica sounds better for marketing too.
it does.
Yeah.
Who wants to put Hallertau Aroma in their beer? How about Pacifica?
Yeah, it's like so what? Hallertau doesn't already have aroma? What the fuck? Yeah. New Zealanders are cool, I guess.
We're brainstorming beer names in the chat right now.
Are we?
Yeah.
What do we got so far?
Fort Brazzers Man Juice was one.
Mine was Merc Diggler.
All right. Okay.
4 Hops, 4 Furious.
4 hops, 4 Furious.
There are 4 hops in this beer.
Yeah, it was bittered with Columbus, right?
Yes, it was.
So 4 hops, 4 Furious. I'm trying to think that Derek has to actually sell this in his establishment, so maybe Fort Brazzers Man Juice might not be.
Can I get a pint of Fort Brazzers Man Juice?
Well, I can pass that on. We'll see what happens.
I always want to throw Stillborn Unicorn in there, but again, it just doesn't.
Oh Jesus!
Can we call this shit Interior Crocodile Alligator?
Why? Call it Sexual Harassment IPA.
Yeah, that seems to be trendy right now too. So
that's really hot.
That would
right
fit
now.
really well.
So hot
sexual
right now.
harassment.
Sexual harassment, so hot right now.
Yeah, I can. No, I won't.
Speaking of which, all
pull your
men just
dick out.
suck.
All of them.
We all
fucking
suck.
all of them. It's the worst.
Goddamn.
We're horrible people.
Yeah.
Oh.
As a race of
Every
humans,
single
Well, as a
we're
gender.
The race is different,
we're all
Greg.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna seal up in my office and play race cars until this all
So the whole thing blows over.
the whole world blows over.
Well, I'm pretty proud of this beer, man. I'm happy to put the 4B logo on it and call it
This
a
is
collab.
the
This is like well
second
done.
time we've done a collab.
I
right?
appreciate that. Thanks.
We did the collab with
Hamilton.
but that was basically Matt.
True.
I feel like I had no input on it, and not like you cut me out. I was just like,
That was
Matt's
damn good.
idea.
I was gonna say, I was like, well, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, you got it.
Yeah, I like it.
I've been super anxious about how this is going to come out because we're like, Derek, why don't you use like triple the amount of ingredients you normally use? And you were like, okay. And I'm like, man, if this beer sucks, it'd be like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about your hops, bro.
Believe me, when it was in the fermenter, we're knocking out. I'm just like,
I'm like,
all
sorry.
my fingers are crossed. Like, please let this happen.
Sorry,
please let this work
I
out.
think it's fucking juicy and delicious.
Yeah.
It is juicy.
Have fun with your yield, by the way.
For a first attempt.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it. 7-barrel yield, I think is what I told John.
Probably.
So,
But for a first attempt, I think it turned out very, very well. And this is
damn
drinking
proud of
it like not finished. Like it's still going to drop out a little more. Needs some more carbonation.
Wow. Tasty.
I like it. I think in the future, like the only tweaks we'd have to make is to the yeast and maybe to the bitterness.
yeah.
And then go from there if we were to do it again, which we should.
Seeing how this, the trend for this is playing out, we might have a good opportunity to do it again.
Yeah.
So
We
I
call
think
this-
drop out the bittering.
We can call this one
And
George
Just do
Papadopoulos.
Whirlpool.
Yeah, the one we had from Magnify, it was called Cold Side. There were no hops at all in the boil. Like,
Really?
They just did all dry hop, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Site?
So-
And it still had some bitterness to it, surprisingly.
Yep.
Like there's like you actually get a little bit of like a weird bitterness when you add.
Well,
dry
I
hops,
think we got a lot more than expected from the massive dry hopping that we did.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's unexpected for me because I haven't experienced that. So
I think Mitch Steele was talking about that. He was surprised to see how many IBUs he got out of just a bark beer.
Well, yeah. Well, also consider the fact
just
that
a dry hop beer.
with a lot of times, like a lot of those bittering compounds fall out with the particulate matter.
flock
That's
out?
Yeah.
That's so when you have a really clear beer, it has a really clean bitterness because a lot of those compounds fall out. With this, everything is still
Suspended,
there.
yes.
Yeah. So you're like a lot of those compounds are going to hang on, and I think a lot of
you
those
got,
come from dry hopping. too.
48 pounds of hops for dry hopping.
Oh, what was the ABV? I don't think you said
It
16.
was 5.9 is
okay.
what we
Pale
finished,
ale-ish.
but 6.65 is what it
6.66.
should have finished at.
Right.
So
Wink, wink.
It's 6.
yeah. So
We
we
can
just
call it 6. We got plus or minus 0.3.
yeah. It was, I think it was 5.97. I think is what it was.
So when we finally settle on a name, when will this actually be like available in pints for us to tell our loyal listeners to go buy growlers of?
Probably
Kegs.
the week of like the December 15th.
Yeah. So if you're If you don't support us on Patreon, you can support us by just going and buy a keg.
Yep.
Go buy a keg.
No, buy
No,
pints.
come in.
Go buy pints.
Get your growlers for Christmas for your friends and fill it up with that.
Bring
We got
over
brand new, dual wall stainless steel growlers that we're selling right now too. So
Nice.
Can I bring my
Yeah.
2.5 gallon corny keg?
I don't know.
No,
Okay.
I can't confirm that.
Okay.
I would say
Can neither confirm
probably
or
not.
deny.
Yeah, right. Let's slap a Brewkaipa sticker on it and
Every-
pretend it's just
every
a
pint
big
comes
growler.
with a
It's a
free
big
4
growler.
Brewer sticker.
There you go. Free 4 brewer stickers.
There you go.
You get a free 4 brewer sticker with every purchase.
Probably could do that. Get a lot of stickers. So.
We do have a surplus of stickers. Yeah, thanks, man. This is cool.
Yeah, this
No,
turned out great.
that-
I'm really happy with how it
yeah.
turned out.
That makes me happy right there.
Yeah.
So being the artist, you're most critical of what you do for yourself. So
I think the bitterness was the thing that was worrying me the most.
right.
And I'm glad we cut it down like we did, because the bitterness on this right now is pretty much at the maximum I'd want it to be.
Right.
So
I think especially for the demographic that's new to craft beer or hazy beers or IPAs or anything in general, having some bitterness in there is going to be kind of expected from the typical IPA.
yeah, I could see.
I don't think it's
So-
offensive. I think it's at that threshold of being like it's there.
It's-
but
yeah.
it's a quick bitterness. It's not. It doesn't hang out.
No, it doesn't. And then you just keep drinking it, and it definitely
You
softens
just
up.
need some.
I
food
will
to
say
pair with it.
too,
Yeah.
we've debated where kind of the source of the kind of cloud and haziness has been. Was it the yeast? Was it the water? It's the hops.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the dry hops.
Yeah.
It's just all the fucking hops.
Yeah, dude. Like, Giga Yeast, who's a yeast company out of the San
Giggity.
Francisco Bay Area, they did a really interesting booth at the California Craft Beer Summit when they were like, "This is when you use a super high flocking yeast and a low flocking yeast. This is with dry hopping. This is without dry hopping." They had like samples of all these different things in jars at their booth. And yeah, it was all dry hops.
That
It
was
was
fascinating.
the dry hops, which is where it came from.
Microscopic. They're like that's some proteins from the oats and some wheat proteins and hot particulate.
Yeah, it was almost all hot
And they
particulates.
bind
They had one.
together
Yeah, they had
and
one
they
that was
float.
super clear, and they're like, "This is with a whole ton of oats and wheat,"
Yep.
and it was crystal clear. So it's mostly just the dry hopping. So Jason,
What?
we're gonna be doing.
Next.
We are gonna be doing a showdown of sorts.
It is a throwdown showdown. One brewer enters. No, four and a half, maybe. Only one's leaving. That's for
All right,
sure.
start them over. Start them over.
One's leaving.
One's leaving. We all know
So it's a
that.
cage match.
It's a tag team, but also a Royal Rumble.
It's a more of a Royal Rumble, really. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah. So basically, the idea we had was we each bring our one beer gladiator in, and we all try the beer gladiators, and at the end of it, we rank it completely unscientifically to determine who the true beer champion
Like
is.
I can just rate Matt's just a 1 just because he's
Yeah,
Matt.
because fuck him. That's.
Fuck you!
So what we're gonna do though, we don't know what the other people brought. So they're going to the other room. They're pouring the beer. And Matt's doing that now. He's pouring the beer into.
So Matt's going to pour his beer, and then I'm going to pour my beer. Greg's going to pour his beer. Jason's going to pour his beer. We're going to come in and
we're doing them one at a time
Drink
because
them
if we
one at
had
a
4
time.
beers on the table, it gets confusing as fuck.
yeah.
Oh,
Remember when we
totally.
did that in the stout show, and we're like, wait, which one is one?
Yeah.
I thought you
fuck?
spent the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes trying to figure out what to do. And you're coming back. Oh, just bring them all in.
No, we're doing what
No,
we.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
John's kind of backtracking here and going to bring them all in.
Well,
Well, I'm explaining
Hey,
it for the
wanted
viewers at home.
actually, Matt's just going to pour his beer in a pitcher, and then bring a pitcher in, and we're going to
a
pour
pitcher.
out of the pitcher.
A pitcher.
Why did you take a picture?
A pitcher.
At the
not
pitch, somebody ordered pizza, so that's perfect.
Pizza is here.
Pizza's here. I won't pass out.
We got here 20 minutes early.
Nice. Bullseye. Shot the nail in the head.
Hit the nail on the head.
Hit the nail in the head.
Man, having a water cooler in here is so cool.
It's the best.
Man.
Man.
We just need table service. Oh wait, Matt's coming back. So.
we need like just to hire a server.
Yeah,
Just wait.
All right,
They'll
clear
have
the table
like,
for us. That'd be amazing. And then
they'll have a room
bring
that
in the next
brings you
beers.
beer in like a year. Just
We need
wait.
to hire somebody with Patreon money. show up every recording session.
I just want, like, from the 80s, one of those little robots with a tray that just comes up, like, would you like a beverage? I'm like, fuck yes.
Robbie the robot.
Sure.
I had one of those.
I was just watching
was
Short Circuit. So.
Stupid.
Ten
Yeah,
five.
but
Number
Robbie
5.
the robot had a tray, and you could put like drinks in it, and had a remote control, and you could make it. It was dumb.
You want some more? I just want that robot bartender from Fifth Element.
God, what if we had like drones back then, like in '84?
Greg's listening to his voicemail. I
It was
think.
Vito.
What Vito want?
I was trying to hook up the IPA for the show today, but it never
Oh,
happened. So count Noble out of that one, unfortunately.
Womp.
Well, what are you going to do? So I had to go. I reached deep in my well of IPA excellence of Orange County and pulled out an old familiar.
an old
Familiar.
There you go. You want some more?
Hmm,
That fucking robot.
old familiar.
Yep, it's a beer. I take it we're paused right now.
What
Right?
was that?
I just hit my hand on the bottom. Of it.
It's like you broke it.
How do we get sweet Brucaipa hats? By the way,
Sweet Brewkaipa hat. You got to come to the damn brewery.
God damn it! Should bring swag to the show.
It's a nice
be
brewery
out.
too.
Yeah, I'll
There's
be
more
out
stuff
soon.
in Ukaipa
My
than
mom
I
lives in
thought.
Redlands, so I'll be out soon.
Okay. Yeah, just hit me up. Let me know. That way I'm around.
Mhm.
If not, talk to Scott. He's
Okay,
owner.
I'll be like, hey, I know Derek.
Yeah, tell him who you are.
I
He'll
know Derek.
give
He's
you
a
the
cool
10-cent
guy.
tour, and if there's anything special in the fermenters, he'll get you samples and hang out.
I'm not high maintenance. I just
I'm from OC Beer Blog, so like if you don't give me preferential treatment, I'm gonna write a scathing review in Orange Coast.
that's right. That's what I do.
It's gonna write a scathing
You
review about an
suck.
Inland Empire brewery in Orange Coast Magazine,
Right?
where everyone
Hey,
already
hey,
hates
hey,
the Inland Empire.
I'm a former Orange County brewer,
Right.
so I
Yeah.
can see the connection there.
Yes.
Come on.
That would be
a loose one at best.
catnip for the Orange County audience. They're just like, fuck the Inland Empire, am I right? They're
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah!
look. Look. Another reason to not go to the Inland
The
Empire.
next frame is everybody in Orange County picking up Greg and holding him above. Like,
God damn it.
All right, y'all. First beer.
First beer.
Matt brought his
All
beer.
right.
It's his IPA Gladiator.
So this
Second
is
beer.
Matt's beer, which is beer number 1.
beer number 1, Matt's beer. I'm just going to do them by names. Matt's.
I rated 1.
I know,
It's
but
the Matt's.
just so I can put in what the beer is.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Like we don't know what it is.
I know what it is.
You're taking notes?
I don't.
Derek is the one who
I'm
doesn't know
taking
what
my
this
own personal notes.
If you know Matt
okay.
well, you know what this beer is.
Yeah, we're not doing like.
Well, how
ratings.
often do I see Matt?
It's gonna be
Once a
like,
year,
I like
maybe?
beer number 1 a
I mean,
lot.
this is
I see him every 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a brewery that's won many of 4B Showdown.
I think the last time I saw Matt, he had short hair.
Dude,
Really?
I just
Yeah.
I found old
much,
files.
much less beardy.
on my
Yeah, no
computer.
beard, but your hair was shorter, definitely.
I found old files from video files from when we were in the other room. And you were just starting to grow it out, so it was a little bit longer. Like you didn't. You look like a different person, dude. Like
Oh, dude. I
I
mean,
kind of miss that, Matt.
look at the old MBT days when I was going through my fucking
you looked good then,
my
too,
like
man.
my,
Your hipster phase?
Oh, what? Oh God, from Weezer, help me out here.
Oh, Rivers Cuomo.
Yeah, it was sort of like Rivers Cuomo-ish kind of like
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It was a phase.
You still.
I'm
pulled
glad.
It off.
I'm glad
You
I
pulled it
got
off
through
well.
it. Oh shucks,
You were like
Thanks.
Dapper Dan, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Beer world.
Okay, so this is my beer.
It's got some little. It's kind of a deep gold.
It's got beer color.
A little bit of color to it.
It's
Yeah.
not crystal clear. It's
Yeah,
got
it's not like a Pilsner.
shade of.
If I was a Smirm,
Haze on
what
it?
would this be like? 8, 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a 7.
yeah, I would
7,
say
7, 8,
6 or
something
7.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture to the chat for all my chatty friends.
Hello, chatty friends.
We are chatty Cathy's.
You do get a nice hop presence and like nice malty aroma. I think.
Yeah,
a
it's
good
definitely
balance.
more old school. This is like 6 weeks old, so not the freshest. This isn't the easiest beer to find fresh anymore.
It's
Right.
still pretty damn fresh. I mean, come on.
It's still pretty fresh.
Okay, and now I think I know what
It
is.
smells good. It's got a.
I just
nice,
realized. I just went back through my archives
Maybe
of
you
Matt
wanna-
going.
you
Oh,
roll it
now
down."
I know what his fucking favorite
Yeah,
beer
yeah,
is.
So
And then I had a little sip too, and I was like, "Oh, that's right."
Yeah, old familiar. I think I like that you brought your old familiar because that's what I brought as well.
The familiar, yeah, you have to. I mean, like, if someone's like, "What's your favorite IPA?" I'm like, boom, I have an instant answer. So
I was like, I was texting Vito and I was like, "Hey man, can I just cruise by and get like a crowler out of one of your bright tanks for the show?" And I was like, maybe that's cheating a little bit.
a little bit, maybe a little.
That was what I was hoping for. Really, was cheating. Like fucking, someone's gonna like trade. Like Matt, like John's like, "Hey, fucking Joe, hook me up with some weird New England thing." And then like,
It didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, someone pulls out fucking Alchemist.
yeah,
You know, someone pulls out a Hurdy out of nowhere.
for the next edition of the 4B Gladiators. We got to ramp it up.
Yeah, true.
Because I will say, I just bought something from fucking the store too. So,
Mine's a crowler.
You're gonna bring some King Cobra, aren't you?
I bought 4 IPAs because I thought we were all doing 4 for some reason. Like,
16.
well, wait,
16
when I got home, I'm like
IPAs.
16 IPAs. So who's gonna like
that
facilitate
is the kind
this?
of bullshit we normally do.
No, yeah, it wasn't
already
like
did
out
that
of the
one with
realm of
IPA, though.
possibility. So
We always were like, let's do a showdown. All right, we're gonna drink 23 beers. Fuck me.
And then you're like, wait, hang on. This is barrel aged imperial stout. We should only do 20.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
those shows were really good, though.
Yeah.
Like,
This is
yeah.
beer number 21.
Yeah, the Mexican lager.
that's happened too.
Yeah.
The Pilsner Showdown, dude. 24 beers.
The Mexican lager one's good.
37.
We're Paste Mag. We're like, we compared the top 291 double IPAs. Here's the beers that didn't make the field. Now here's our top 50.
Yeah.
We did a fucking 10-round round robin. Fucking got knocked out in the first 2 heats and went on to the wild card.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Even
a
it's-
double
We have
elimination.
an ELO system.
when there's that many beers, there's too many asterisks. Like unless they're all made on the same day, they're all that they're all very well kept for in the fridge from purchase through consumption and poured exactly. There's so many
It's
stipulations.
rough.
Yeah, that Paste magazine
it's-
thing. Just like I'm not going to read it because I know there's so many asterisks.
Yeah,
to
I
that.
mean,
Like,
it's cool that they tried to be so inclusive, but you
Right.
said there's so many variables. You
could have just
it's
named-
more of a a fun read, but putting any weight to it doesn't.
Yeah.
You can't really put any weight to it.
it's not like people are bragging that they won.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Like, there's some breweries
No,
that retweet the shit out of those.
Man,
Well,
Yeah.
It might be
And
the only accolade they get. So
and that's
you know.
the point.
Yeah,
of
and
doing
honest,
that.
I'm not.
those
I would
retweets.
too. I would too. I won't lie. If I was like number 37, I'd be like, check it out, guys. We're number 37.
No,
in
that's
the world."
fine.
Yeah.
But then like podcasts like ours are like, hey, we did 24 beers. Like
Of good ones.
like we did this whole thing. Like we are like a craft podcast. Like this is all in-house shit
Also,
that we did.
buy our
And
beers
then
with our
brewer-
own money.
yeah.
Like no one cares. I'm just like,
We gotta start asking for
even the
free
blog
beer.
post, we put so much time into the blog post. Like your summaries of the breakdowns of the beers
yeah,
are
yeah.
awesome. And it's very Paste Magazine-esque kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no one cares. But when Paste Magazine does it, like look what Paste Magazine
Why don't
did.
we get
Well, they also have
Alright.
quite. They have
I get it.
pretty big readership.
No,
already.
I get it. I'm just saying I wish people would be more inclusive and pay attention to everybody
Hey,
except for the
Paste
big
Magazine,
people.
fight me, you little bitch.
That's all I'm saying. We work hard.
Fucking
back to
fight
the beer.
me.
It's got that old school IPA kind of tangerine biscuity.
It smells great. It smells super hoppy. On the hop character isn't coming through as much on the flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's more old school. You get pine citrus caramel.
Yeah,
it's
caramel.
not sweet like like Pacific Northwesty type stuff, but it's definitely got a lot more body than your Pizza Port inspired SoCal IPAs.
Yeah.
The finish on it is a little harsh. Like
It's sticky.
The end to end. Yeah, it kind of lingers on your palate.
Yeah.
But definitely not a bad beer. It's good.
Yeah, it's pint worthy for sure.
Yep.
See why you brought it.
All right, who's on deck? Do you want me to go?
Yeah. Who's up next?
My beer's out of the fridge, so I guess I'll go do that.
All right, do
Go
it.
for it.
Fill time, assholes.
Nah, just hit the pause button. Give me a slice of pizza, man.
Button.
We'll start making fun of you like you were making fun of Matt.
Jason's a little bitch.
What? You're making fun of me?
Or faster.
I'm
okay, Matt. I stuck up for you.
Find that
Jason, I have
video
the
now that we're waiting.
thingy.
Oh no, I can't. I don't have my hard drive plugged in. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh.
Unless it can't be on my laptop. Dun, 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 dun. We are here. We didn't go anywhere.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, that's not
I was thinking of buying a second camera body.
Oh yeah.
a second camera. You mean
The same camera, but
another one?
another body. Yeah,
Why?
to do camera 2.
Oh.
Wow, got that fucking Orange Coast money.
You're gonna have like an off shoulder, like mount.
A dude. Yeah, well, tripod wide shot. One of the dudes that owns Gunwhale.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he works for Sony as well, and he can get the body for like $8.99 or something.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
I would be interested in that.
right?
What the hell's his name? I can't remember his name.
Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby, yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Because that's like a $1,600 body ish.
I think it's 14 now.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
Still, that's great.
$8.99. I'm like,
I would be interested in that.
right.
Yes.
I see him tomorrow.
Ask, ask if I can.
That's about
can I-
PS4
can I-
Pro. See how much I
Right?
get for it.
Hey, that's not a bad idea too. I mean, that's the cool thing about another body is like I already have all the lenses, so.
I know I have 4 DSLRs.
Well, that's the thing about a Sony body is you just get the converter and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like it works pretty good. Here you go.
Yeah, dude.
And
That's
the
a Christmas
A7
present.
It took
for
you
myself.
that long.
A7R2 was $1,200, which is like
Nah.
half off.
Dude, A7R2 battery life sucks.
And
And
they're
you
all
need-
kind of bad.
Well, that one in particular, and the
Mirrorless.
files are so big; they're
Yeah.
like 46 megapixel
Yeah.
photos.
What?
You
They're
need
for sports.
It takes forever to edit photos
Yeah.
unless you have a like powerful
You
computer.
can dial it down too, but
Marco Arment from Accidental Tech Podcast and Tumblr, he had the A7R2, and he ended up
yeah,
selling
I
it.
love my 6500, dude. That camera just blows
Yeah,
my
the
socks
60.
off.
I would totally get a 6500, like especially at that price. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's
So-
awesome.
I was like, do I buy another lens or just buy another body? I'm like,
When are you gonna start actually doing like
I'm
Photography,
I'm booking
Greg.
stuff. Dude, I do photography
I
all the
didn't
time.
say that.
I'm
I
kidding.
mean,
I'm
like-
kidding.
Video stuff. I just did. I filmed the collab at Brewery True.
Okay.
So that's coming out soon. With,
Oh yeah, with the
Top Chef
chef.
chick.
What's her face?
Yeah, Brooke Williamson.
Nice.
So that should be coming out soon. And then I'm booking gigs with Visit Anaheim.
Oh, no.
So
Okay.
they're paying me to do a bunch of like vignettes of like different bartenders and brewers in the area. So I pitched it and they're like, "Yep,
Cool, man.
we'll pay you to do it." I was like,
Sweet.
"Sweet."
Well, having a second camera that's the same body helps a
Oh,
lot.
dude, yeah, just to have on a tripod for a wide shot while I'm
And
gimbling around.
buy a white balance card too,
Mhm.
because that helps a lot.
Yeah, it saves time in post.
A great card.
I do have one.
I have 2. I have a wallet one and I have a big
I have one that's on the back side of a reflector, which is cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey,
like
we got
mine-
beer.
Mine's like certified neutral, whatever
Oh,
that
nice.
means. I paid basically $40 for a piece of plastic. That's gray.
It's
So
guaranteed.
It's a very, very specific gray. Though.
it is.
Really, really specific gray.
Swamis.
So Jason's back with his beer.
I brought a beer, guys. I brought 2 beers actually,
Okay,
and I game time decision based on freshness.
that's not a bad idea.
Oh.
Yep. So I was like, honestly, I just grabbed a couple, and I was like,
Did you blend them together? And you're like,
Whatever
Right.
could this beer be?
What could it be?
Whatever could this beer be?
It ain't torpedo.
We're doing this. We're doing this blind like we don't know what our well, actually, just mine and Jason's. Well, I think we're the loudest. I don't actually know what John and
I don't know
and
what this
Greg's would
is.
be. You
Actually.
don't. Come on.
It's gotta
I mean,
be
after I
Swans.
smelled it,
You guys are just putting me in a box. Maybe I brought you Sculpin. You don't know.
after I smell it, I'm
yeah.
not sure.
Well,
it's
The
Swamis.
reason I
That's
didn't
a-
buy Sculpin is because of Jason. So
Not because of Constellation brands.
Consolation brand.
Constipation brands.
Consolation brands. Like, sorry.
Ate too much cheese last night.
I'm sorry for your loss. Here's some fake tasting grapefruit.
So this beer is notably like a 6 SRM, 5 or 6.
Yeah, very, very bright too.
Yeah.
pretty much crystal clear.
Right, crystal
little,
clear.
little tiny bit of floaties in there, but you know.
Try to get a picture of Matt through my beer.
It's got some nice.
It's your backwash, John.
Nice head that's sticking around.
Mm.
Smells familiar as well.
phrase.
It's a little grassy, I think.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Like the junior high.
Grassy lemon peel.
It's
Not
very, very,
Degrassi.
very, very Degrassi. It's very sorry. It's very sorry for how it tastes.
Sorry about this.
Lemongrass.
Yeah,
little bit of a malt thing coming through,
lemon
too.
peel, verbena.
Yeah, verbena is a good call.
I mean, it's not jumping out of the glass with hops. It's a good kind
very
of like the last beer that like Matt's beer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which is good because I thought mine was kind of disappointing in the aroma arena, but this is pretty much like equal.
And
See,
by the
for-
way, this is Jason's beer, which is beer number 2.
Yeah, numero
Number
dos.
two.
To be honest, I thought the first beer had more aroma than like it was. The aroma was pretty there, and then the hop flavor was kind of like.
I thought the first one was a little bit sharper than this one. This one's a little softer.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising too.
I think this
Like,
one's sharper than the first one.
Really?
Yeah,
Actually,
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
everyone
with
can
John.
just fuck off.
Hey, man, we had 4 bursts.
I'm not saying it's bad. That it was
Just
dull.
different.
I'm kidding.
Your beer was dull.
You're dull. You're fucking dull. I'm not dull.
This is goddamn delicious, though. It's definitely something you can drink a pint of very easily.
Compared
Yeah.
to Matt's beer, it's got a lot more bitterness, I think.
drier, more bitter.
Yeah.
I think.
Drier, more bitter. I think more like herbal grassy
Mhm.
notes. You know, it's more herbal grassy, bright citrus.
It's got like a very piney. I get a lot of pine out of this one.
Really?
On the finish, I think.
A little bit's there, like the spiciness from the pine.
Yeah. Hangs out on the palate a little bit.
Yeah.
It does towards the back.
It leaves a bitter hop lingering taste on the palate.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah, that's maybe what it is. The stickiness.
The stickiest of the icky.
Sticky of the icky.
Want to smoke with your old pal Rick James?
So,
Yeah.
I thought that was
I
delicious.
mean, it's delicious. You know, I mean, it's pretty safe to assume every beer we bring is going to be delicious.
Power
Probably.
ranking. How are we
So-
ranking it now? Huh? You know where I sit.
I like this beer better than the first one.
Go fuck yourself.
I would agree. Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
I kind of like the first one better.
Ha!
Alright.
Thank you, Derek.
All right.
I don't know what song you're in.
That's
I
from
am,
a
So
Star
it's
Trek.
tied.
Star Trek when they're fighting.
So we're tied right
I
now,
thought it was Pee
essentially.
Wee Herman.
What did you?
I thought
So,
it was-
Jason, you can't vote on this one then, obviously.
I don't know. We'll figure out how
then
we're
Matt can't
doing the
vote
end
on his
rankings.
first
Yeah,
one.
we're only doing 4 beers, so the actual voting is going to be pretty easy to assume.
But let's do our
Alright.
stack rankings at the end, and then we'll declare a winner arbitrarily.
Oh,
Oh God!
Haze
no.
boys.
Oh,
Hayesville.
inadvertent
there's
haze.
no haze.
Invertent haze. False alarm. Invertent haze.
Chill
Where's the haze at?
Chill haze.
Put a comma in there. Be like, chill, haze.
Do you need the measuring cup, Mister John?
Hey, wait! I'll take the rest of that.
It's poured down your throat.
Stick it in my veins.
Yeah, it's pretty good for swamis. I like that Jason just won't make eye contact out every time I say swamis. Swamis.
Oh,
You
Jason,
don't know me.
Jason,
Swamis.
I like the photo that you put up of your 3 non-electric cars parked in the electric vehicle parking.
Yeah, I
spaces.
noticed that too.
Like half the parking lot is either electric vehicle parking or clean air parking, and they don't do anything to enforce that. So,
Oh man.
Yeah, well, there
and
you
they're
go.
just regular parking spaces. There's not like a charger there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're just closer to the building because you're being
so it's a
environmentally friendly.
self-entitled
Yeah,
parking space is what it
It's
is.
actually not even that close. It's kind of far away. It's always open. That's why I park there.
Where's this?
At my work.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I was looking at a new location for FerkFest next year, and the Anaheim Arctic, you know, that fucking disco cocoon building
No.
across the street from the Honda Center, Angel Stadium.
Yes, yeah,
It's got disco lights.
with the train station.
It's the train station. They want $7,500 just to rent the bottom floor of it. And they want me to pay for dedicated spaces for vendors at $25 a piece. And I was like, fuck you.
You'd have it in Honda Center for cheaper than that,
Right? And that'd be amazing to have a cask beer festival on the ice.
Oh, that would be totally awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be all geared up in my King's outfit
Oh, my God.
and just ready to go.
Yeah, clearly there wouldn't be any liabilities with dressing up in King's gear at a Ducks stadium.
Not at all.
And dare get high stick.
High stick in the crotch.
Hey.
You get low sticked in the nuts.
Yeah. Well,
slashing.
I come back at you.
2 minutes.
Yeah. I had a goalie try that to me one time.
Oh, dude.
He got cross-checked into the net. I turned around and got him in the crossbar, and he
It's
fell
so
down
easy
into
to
the
get
net.
goalies back whenever they push it.
Yeah. I took the 2 minutes for that one.
And sometimes they don't even know who did it. Just hang out in the back
Oh,
of the net.
it was obvious. It was very obvious.
We used to play.
I got my 2 minutes. I got out of the penalty box, and then I
That's the
scored.
best 2 minutes ever.
Years ago, my buddy got.
I'm not shitting you.
That is
I got
so
out of the
rad.
penalty box
Dude,
and went and scored on him.
my buddy had NHL hits for the GameCube years ago. And what I always would do every time I played against him was I would pick the Czech Republic, and then I would play as the biggest, highest defense guy on the team, and then I would try to slam dudes through the glass, and I would say, "Welcome to the Czech Republic," and that's all I would do. I wouldn't try to score. I wouldn't do any defense. I would just try to slam them through the glass and say, "Welcome to the Czech Republic." It was my favorite thing.
I love hockey.
Yeah, I miss playing. I
Me
haven't
too.
been.
I haven't played in 5 years.
Yeah, I haven't been on the ice
saw
in
my gear,
like
though.
a year and a half.
Greg is a real Emilio.
I did some stick time with my friend's son. He's 8.
Is there a
9,
rink
10
out here?
years
You might
old.
want to rethink that sentence.
There's one in Ontario.
Okay. Ontario
Um,
Ice.
Yeah. So I went there, did some stick time with him. Just got out there. My skates needed to be sharpened anyway,
Yeah.
and I looked like it was the first time I'd skated.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Like a
It
deer
was
on
so
ice.
bad.
I'm gonna advise you to never say I did some stick time with my friend's son, in public.
Stick time.
I'm not
You
worried
pay
about
for
it.
stick time.
Did some stick
No,
time.
actually, it was free. I didn't have to pay for it.
I did stick time once with Scott Niedermeyer's kids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's getting weirder.
I
was
helped. I
retired.
helped Paul
I was like,
Correa.
oh my
and
God, this is
I
Scott
got to help
Niedermeyer.
Paul Correa and his girlfriend move out of their house
Uh-huh.
with Ed
Oh.
Heath this one time.
Cool.
It was like 5-6 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's hard to move furniture out of a white carpet house, and you got to wear socks. You got to take your freaking shoes off every time you go in and out. But it was fun. It was. He's a good guy. Very
Yeah.
humble. Very humble.
He's got Hockey Hall of Fame too.
Yep.
Him and Solani.
So John's back with his beer.
Hi, John.
The third beer number 3.
This one's kind of hazy.
Kind of hazy.
Got some,
Cloudy.
well, it's got some crystal malt to it too, or caramel malt. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker than the other
it's,
two.
it's got some
Got a little color. It's a little bit
7,
cloudy
8
going
SRM.
on.
It's got a tight knit, foamy head.
There you go, Matt.
Small little bubbles.
Looks like chicken noodle soup, sort of.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Getting a lot of noodle on
I just
this.
like to say things to make Matt go, what?
Lot of pleasant noodle notes.
Looks like a bowl of pho.
Matt's Kyle's mom on fucking South Park. He's just over here like, what?
Mm.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is definitely the cloudiest of the beers.
It's also the brightest citrus character. This is like orange tangerine, right?
And it's right in your face, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's immediate.
Oh yeah, super orangey.
Oh, what is this beer? And I think I've had this before.
I know what this is, and I didn't expect it to taste this way. This has kind of like a more subdued bitterness and malty edge to it, I think.
It's got that cantaloupe sort of fruitiness to it on the
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
It's got
You
that.
throw that out there, so it adds like that sweetness, from
Melony
the
sweetness.
Yeah.
The melony thing isn't a pro to me. I don't like that flavor, but
Nah,
it's just a preference thing.
it has that like super grassy, like over extracted hop thing. You know, when you start to get that like wooden hop flavor, like it's sat on the dry hops for too long.
I think it's a little grassy, but I don't think it's like super extracted grassy. It's there.
Yeah, no, I can't. That's one of those flavors that I can never like untaste. You know, so when it's there, it just like that's all I can taste anymore.
It's like one of the first things I look for in an IPA because once I find it, it just destroys it for me. And yeah.
Is it right after the diacetyl?
Yep.
Okay. Diacetyl is the first thing, and then grass. Yeah.
That's like the on the flow chart of drinking a beer. It's like, is there diacetyl? Yes or no? And
Listen
if there
here.
is,
Yeah, then you
dump.
get to continue.
If yes, dump. If
Listen
no,
here, brewer.
continue.
Your ass is grass.
Yeah, you're right. Diacetyl is the first thing you
Oh yeah,
you look for.
Which
Without
hasn't
tasting
been,
it, you
hasn't been in any of these beers.
This is kind of like
They've all been clean.
a
knocking on
very,
wood
very light,
for mine.
fruity, like cereal thing, I think, also. Very light on the flavor.
Cereal side, I'm not really picking that up, but the fruity, yes, for sure.
I just mean like with the malt character, how it's coming through.
Getting
It's
some
pretty
time.
dry.
Is this a
Pretty
double?
dry.
I believe so.
Mind your business.
No, just get some heat.
A
get some
little
alcohol.
bit, but not. It doesn't
get
seem
on
like
the
it'd be a
XL,
whole lot.
Just on the XL, there's a little poof of
I wasn't sure what the criteria was, if it had to be IPA or if it could be double or haze, but
the world of
fucking-
IPA, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking free reign, man.
I'm not kicking this one out. I'll tell you that. I like it.
I'm saying
It's
is
pretty tasty.
if we're gonna do this again and bring whatever the fuck you want. You want to bring a weird fruit added tropical IPA? Do
God, I
it.
didn't know that beer though.
I'm going back for seconds.
it's good beer. I dig it.
It does. I do get a little bit of that grassiness that Matt's calling out, but only a hint of it. Like it's not a big flavor for me. That Melanie thing, like I said, throws me off a little. But overall,
She's a
I like-
jerk.
God, Melanie, you're ruining my beer. Trying to drink here, Melanie. Fuck.
Deb.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I dig this beer, and I'm glad I picked it.
I'm
would
glad you
rank
picked it
it-
too. This is really nice. I'm enjoying this.
John's beer, I
I
would
could,
rank above Matt's beer.
I could do another beer, like for Derek. Like, pretend Derek brought it, if you want.
Nah,
Because I
it's
did
fine.
buy 4.
Or just
so-
tell me where they are, and I'll just go pick one.
I'm going to send you guys home with beer, so,
Oh darn!
yeah. They're in the garage.
I'm never ever gonna finish the 2 I have on tap at home. Then
You might break your neck. Get into the refrigerator.
no, that's why you're gonna go in the.
John's beer is better than Matt's beer. I'm ranking them. Matt's like, I can't interact with somebody who I've officially rebuked.
I don't
Jog
know.
on.
I rebuke you.
I'd have to go back to Matt's and see where it fits with this one, but I'm thinking I like this one.
That's why side-by-sides are nice.
Yeah.
You can compare and contrast.
I
on
might,
the spot.
Nope.
might be liking this one a little bit more than Matt's.
Y'all can eat a dick.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't say you're bad. You're
Y'all
just
can eat
bad.
a dick.
I said I
Don't
might
care.
like this one a little bit more.
Don't care.
You should have chose wiser.
Don't care.
I
Whatever.
like the beer you brought, Derek.
It's like
Whatever.
Eh,
Whatever.
it's like we're all like,
I'm happy with it.
look, man. If
turned out
this is a
good.
Pokemon
I wanted
battle,
more from it. I had expected more from it.
What'd you
but-
expect from it?
if this is
Orange
a Pokemon,
juice.
If
I
this is a
can see that.
Pokemon battle and Matt decides to throw out Magikarp, that's on him.
honestly, in hindsight, I would have probably stopped fermentation a little bit sooner just to get a little more sweetness or put more dextrin in it.
Okay. Also, the yeast. Don't forget about the yeast.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Fermented at 78 degrees.
the 1.8 pounds per barrel, that's on the low side for that style of beer.
Ooh, fancy.
So just know that. For what we did, I think it turned out great.
Griggity Greg.
I'm back with beer number 4. Beer number 4.
I wonder what brewery this came from.
You will never guess.
Greg's back with beers, and they're
Out
beers
of
from Orange
third-
County.
Out of 30, yeah, it is from Orange County.
Here is a beer from a brewery behind Orange Curtain.
Town Park.
Town Park,
South Park?
probably not.
Mateo.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh. It's time to drink an IPA.
So this beer,
IPA.
I'm stealing Matt's beer.
this is more clear, I think, than Jason's beer.
This is crystalline.
This is crystal clear.
And I know this is not filtered,
Crystalline.
This is just-
This is not filtered, huh?
Biofind or something,
Wow.
Oh.
All right.
because I know the brewery
It's
doesn't filter.
I mean, this wins the Awarma. Awarma.
This has the danky. The
Cold
danky
filtered.
danks.
This wins the Aroma
the
Award.
Danky Danker Pants.
This kills the
Danky
aroma.
kills me.
McDanker pants. Danky McDankerstein.
You're derailing, John.
So this is a
Second show, third show.
a beer that's very old and familiar.
Is it?
Yeah, this is like
Really?
one of the crown jewel.
Of Orange County, really?
Yeah, man.
Huh. What could it be?
And it's nice to taste that it like this is like it at its
It
best.
has an old school sea hop kind of nose.
And the malts and hops on the nose, like the hops jump out of the glass, but you do get like a nice malty aroma from it too. Not, I mean, it's not like Sierra Nevada malty, but you know, you can tell there's something there. It's not all juice and fruit.
It's bitter. Wow.
Yeah.
even I'm registering bitterness, and I'm generally, I'm like,
which is odd because I'm thinking it's a little bit mellow on that. It's
Derek,
not overpowering.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
This
think
is
it's better.
good.
what?
This is not. I think the last beer was more bitter than this.
Oh, I'm stoked.
It does have
Yeah.
a
This beer's pretty
Well,
nice.
it's a different part of the palate. I think it hits. This is a
mid-palate.
little more forward. Yeah,
this
a
is
little
hitting
more
like
mid.
the roof of my mouth somehow.
I'm getting it
which
all over.
I don't even get.
I'm getting it
flavors there.
all over the mouth, all
That's what
over
she
my
said.
face. I
It's
can
normally-
French
Better than your hair.
Normally we do that off camera, but yeah.
In your beard,
Oh.
on your beanie,
everywhere.
Gross.
Almost
Just soaks
like
in.
All over your
on
face,
your
neck, and
headphones.
chest.
and your
Yeah.
pubes,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash all my clothes after
your
this.
chode hair.
No, it seemed like there's some kind of a weird spice or something in it.
Spice.
I just get the piney kind of dank.
Wow.
I mean, I can see that, but it's a hop characteristic. I think it's.
Yeah, it's on the front, so it's more on the sweeter side.
It's got some nice hopper aromatics though. As far as like that hoppy, dank sort of lemon zesty,
This is
old
just
citrus.
school
old school.
brewery.
This might be my favorite beer.
Yeah,
It's mine as well, but I can't vote for it.
Yeah, you can.
I'm just trying to think of what it is.
There's no.
yeah, me too. I don't.
Yeah.
Orange County Breweries.
I know.
He's sort of in that old school, so
Oh, you
I
got
got
$5 on something, huh?
Yeah, I got $5
All right.
on knowing what this is.
Are we naming
I'll
names
take
for
that money.
Greg's right now, or are we
No.
gonna wait?
Hold
Oh.
on.
Hmm.
All right, I've ranked my beers in order.
Wait, hold on.
what about everybody else's beers?
I've all these beers.
All of the
My
beers.
rankings
He
are
has
done.
ranked
all of
the beers.
the beers.
I like
Dumb beers.
mine in backwards format, so I like mine the best. I like the Swami's the second.
That wasn't
I'm just kidding.
If you went to the kitchen,
Yeah,
can see
I
all the
think I
beers.
would go. I would go 4-3-1-2 is where I would go.
So I went in reverse order. Matt, John, mine, Greg.
interesting.
So mine's a winner or no?
I ranked yours the highest.
Well, according to
nice.
according
Yeah,
to this
I
guy
went.
over
Yeah,
here.
I went.
I
I went. Greg's, mine, Jason's, John's.
Sweet. I
Really?
think we have a winner.
Interesting.
yeah.
I actually ranked Greg's over mine just at the moment. Yeah.
I went Greg, mine, Jason's, Matt's.
Yeah, I'm the same as John.
Brew American Gladiators sounds like Greg won.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I think Greg.
and it's
Greg,
unanimous.
All right.
All right. Wait. Can I guess what it was?
Yeah, yeah.
Was it Bigwig?
No.
Oh, really?
Is this a
Yeah.
Taps beer?
No.
No, is it Tustin?
No, you notice he said
Yes.
It's Tustin Old Town IPA.
Yes,
dude.
the old guy here gets it. I knew it.
I
I
was
fucking
gonna
knew it. I knew it.
I knew it wasn't noble because he
Old
said
Town.
Vito called him and he didn't get the beers. I was
Yes.
like, well, it wasn't noble.
So
I wasn't paying close enough attention to that.
Old
Cheers
Town,
to Jared for
dude,
keeping this the
This beer is
same.
so good.
Wow.
This beer, like he sells the most of this beer and he brews it constantly. He knows it. Like
Fucking Jared,
he's
dude.
been killing it with this IPA. It's sort of like everybody who brews goes there and has this beer and eats dinner and stuff. It's such a good fucking beer, man.
Man.
Old Town IPA.
This is it's always a go to when I go into Tustin.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say was second place then?
I like John's.
If you're not first, you're last, I guess.
Well, Matt said mine was last. Greg was on my page, so you gave mine third.
Uh-huh.
No one cares about mine.
Derek,
Let's see. I went
4.
yeah.
So which one was
What was next?
Either way, okay.
okay? Mine. Let's say mine.
No,
was
I,
third.
like
no, I
Jason's
went
too.
I went 4-3-1-2.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
4, 3, 1, 2. So mine was Stone and Joy by 12, 25, 17. Unfiltered.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it drank differently than I'm used to it. It was
Usually
very
that beer's like
melon
a
thing.
punch in the face kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
And I am glad to know that my position still stands. That Stone can suck a dick.
kind of with you.
Yeah, the beer was just okay. But
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise from John.
I would just rather have them play with the balls.
Yeah,
to be
just
honest.
take a- yeah.
I mean,
I don't know where their mouth has been.
Just squeeze them a little.
Enjoy by as a series is great. So I figured I can't go wrong, you know. And it was unfiltered, so I guess it would be that much better. But you know, it did finish third, so there's that.
Okay, Jason, that was indeed Swami's, yes?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yes! The control beer of the
Oh my
group.
God.
Yeah.
I brought Fremont Lush also, but it was
I knew you would bring Fremont.
but it was from August, and I was like,
Yeah.
Oh.
To be honest, I did a set of IPAs yesterday that I was planning on bringing. I got Kern's Winter Double.
That would have been fun.
Modern Times City of the Sun just dropped super fresh.
Oh.
And Aurora Hoppy Alice, which I had high hopes for, and then I tried them all yesterday, and I was like, it's still going with my boy.
Yeah.
riding or dying with my boy.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows that I brought Union Jack because it's still my desert island beer. I still love that beer.
It's a great beer.
It's still wonderful.
I mean, come on.
I'd
So
rather
magically
have
delicious.
the rotating hop series. I buy the rotating one all the time. I don't buy Union Jack.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, like standing up to the rest of them, I put mine in second place mostly just because fuck you guys.
Hey,
But
Play nice, play nice.
it's still no, not fuck you, man. You were with me on that one. You
Yeah,
were like
Firestone,
okay with
right?
it. Yes. So it's mostly just because that sentimental reasons.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
be
it's
honest.
such a good beer, though.
no,
it's still a great beer, but
I don't think
mean,
it was drinking as well as I've had it before.
Yeah,
Like-
it was. I think that age didn't do it very well. Plus, it came out of a grocery store mixed pack. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. It was cans.
It wasn't
was the
that.
cans,
It was
yeah.
10:31, right?
but maybe not refrigerated the whole time.
The
Yeah.
Swamis was
I got it from
Yeah.
Gerard's in the cold box.
the Swamis
Yeah.
was October 26th.
how long did it sit on the floor before he put it in the cold box?
Have you been to Gerard's?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
no. Gerard's keeps all their stuff
a
cold.
giant fucking cold
yeah,
box.
they're good
Yeah.
about it. They're a trustworthy source.
Yeah.
So that's just maybe that's
By
just
the way,
how
Derek,
it's designed.
Go to Gerard's. It's worth a stop on
It's
the way home
dope.
from
Okay.
Brucaipa.
All right.
It's
Oh
in
yeah,
Redlands,
it's on your way back.
I've heard of it.
It's great.
Yeah,
dope,
but see,
yeah.
when I'm done with work,
You just wanna go the fuck home.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I had an hour drive to get home, so I just want
I
to go
hear
home.
ya.
Yeah, I know that life.
You're going against the traffic, and it's a little bit out of the way, but it's worth the stop. Definitely.
It's on my list of things to do.
They actually have two beer caves. One is all craft, and then the other one's all like import and macro. So, and the first thing you see in the store is the craft cave, and then you walk through that cave to the macro cave.
Okay.
They actually
So-
they actually do really well with imports too. Like they like if anyone usually has like weird imports, it's going to be them or maybe El Cerrito in the area.
I haven't, been able to get out and about and check out places
Yeah.
since I've moved out to this area. It's been a little challenging.
Yeah.
It's
Financially too, it's different.
For sure.
I mean,
On-
I've been
on
to
your way
Red
back,
Carpet. I've been to Red Carpet and Rancho. That's the only
Red Carpet's a
place.
good choice. Yep.
I don't think I've ever been there.
It's
Yeah.
been
I found
6 weeks since you
2
took
bottles
me.
of True there.
Red
yeah,
Carpet's dope.
yeah.
And it
True just went
fucking
into
blew
distro.
me away.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's-
that's like their first distroed bottles, I think.
I didn't buy anything else. I just saw those. I was like, okay, I got to get this.
Yep.
And they were
Yep.
both fantastic.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's
Both
how they roll.
fantastic.
That's how they roll.
Mixed fermentation sours. They were really good.
Yeah,
Both-
True's the shit.
Yep.
I think you would love going. Have you been to True in Denver?
No, that was the last time GABF. It was on my list to go.
True was built for
but
you, dude.
I just I ended up going a different
And Matt,
direction.
and Matt, yes.
Right? Throwing the horns.
True's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, True's the kind of place where I go in there and like whatever they're playing, I'm like, it makes me feel inferior. Yeah, seriously.
I've never heard
like,
of
yeah,
what
like whatever they're playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? And they're like, obviously it's this band. And I'm like, I don't know.
Like, oh yeah,
Yeah, oh,
Right.
it's like some obscure like black metal band from Germany from
Yeah,
the
he's like-
80s or something, you know?
Yeah, it's this band. He's like shows you his tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. and I'm like, I don't have good taste.
But see, that's good though. You
Yeah.
know, you're not going into the they're playing all the pop and Taylor Swift and all
Yeah.
the bullshit music.
Hey.
And then every
Hey.
once in a while, like those guys, because I follow them all online, they'll be like, I love this band, and I'm like, I love that band too.
I'll bring Taylor Swift into this. She didn't do anything. Come on.
Tadoff Switler.
No, it's fine. We're bringing the new Taylor into this. I don't
wrong
know
with
what
the new
happened to
Taylor?
the old Taylor. It makes she's
What do you
trying.
want? You
She's
want
trying to be
country
a
Taylor?
she's trying to be a
Is that
bad
what you
bitch and
want?
not pulling it off well.
Apparently, I missed her by like 2 minutes when
all
I was in New York a couple of weeks ago because she did the SNL that weekend, and
Oh dang.
we were actually at some bar at the same building that Sirius is at,
Oh, that's
and
they're
there was
across,
like
they're across from 30 Rock.
500 people were standing outside this, the lobby of this big ass building, and we're like,
Yeah.
who the fuck's this? Oh, some celebrity.
Waiting for
And
this.
asked
Swift.
one of the photographers, he's like, yeah, T Swift, or he said something.
T Swizzle.
T-Swizzle. I was like,
some sort of abbreviation.
what's he talking about?
You knew who he was talking about.
I had no idea. My girlfriend was like, yeah, it's Taylor Swift. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Can we go now?
All right.
This was fun, you guys. I think
do it
we should do this with different styles, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
should be a thing.
We should do a saison one. Easy there, buddy. Easy.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pants.
I think saison would make it more interesting because like you can't really predict what we're gonna bring. IPA, like I knew kind of what Jason was gonna bring when you showed up at my house with the beers. Of course, you're bringing Union Jack, So
Well,
Hey, man,
it's
you gotta come
familiar.
strong.
It's familiar. You guys talk about it. That's what you drink regularly, probably. You know, so it's
If we do the next version of it, I'm coming hard with a different IPA. Doing something.
now. Does it have to be a commercially available beer that you guys do this
it
with?
could be
There's
whatever.
no fucking rules,
I mean,
man.
Well, then why don't you just pick a local brewery each and do that? You know,
planning
you know.
last minute.
Oh Jesus
Driving.
Christ! Like,
I
you
to-
don't get out and about.
I
and
totally didn't buy mine at the grocery store an
you
hour
had it
ago.
in your. I know. You probably had it in your fridge for 3 months.
No, I bought it at the
Yeah,
grocery store
Matt
an
bought
hour
his
ago.
beer 3
you
hours
can't buy
ago.
Tustin Brewing in a grocery store.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Cuts
Just,
out a brew pub.
just go out and then each get a different brewery. Something that's not going to be familiar to everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they give everybody a chance to challenge each other.
Right. This is real fun, though. Right on, guys.
I like it.
If you want to find Four Brewers online, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. You can find all that information on fourbrewers.com. Go to fourbrewers.com/live if you want to hang out with us while we're taping the show. Go to fourbrewers.com/YouTube to see all of our fuzzy wuzzy video content. We got some Cheap Beer Corner coming up, some Pink
Bradley
Beer
Daniels
Corner. We
coming.
got some of John's reviews, a lot of good stuff.
We're gonna
Go
post a
to-
vlog of the brew day at Brewkaipa.
Sweet.
Probably this week.
Oh, cool.
All right, sweet.
Look forward to seeing that.
Go to patreon.com/4brewers if you want to donate to the show. You can give us $1 a show, $2 a show, whatever you like. Every little bit helps us do a lot of fun stuff.
We also take donations on PayPal.
We
And
do take
have,
PayPal donations.
I think 4 or 5 people that are really consistent with their donations. So thank you to those people.
Thanks, guys.
You guys accept cash too, right?
Yeah.
Cash.
If you want to...
There's 5.
Go to Apple Podcasts or iTunes or your favorite podcast client and give us a rating because that helps us with their ratings. It helps more people find the show. And if you want to get in touch with us directly, what,
I
John?
was gonna say, give us a star on Overcast.
Give us a
If
star.
you use Overcast, because Overcast is
I do
the
now.
shit.
Yep.
Because
Go-
Apple Podcasts. Oh,
That's horrible.
Yeah, it leaves
Jesus Christ.
leaves a lot to be desired.
Overcast it is.
And if you want to get in touch with us directly, hit us up at feedback. I don't. Hit us up at feedback at fourbrewers.com and brew the shit out of it.
Yep. Cool. Let's have pizza.
Well, if we bang out another show, you can be out of here by 2:30.
I have to eat something, dude. I
Yeah.
can't. I'm
Well,
not
let's
going to be
take
able to drive.
Can we take a 10-minute break and
Yeah,
you still
yeah,
stick
let's do
around?
that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We got an hour. Let's snack some pizza real quick and then bang out the last show.
All right, if you're watching the video stream, it's going to stop. The deal here.